Now joining us to review some of the headlines of today's papers from all around the world are Rise News analysts Emmanuel Afeni and Dayo Shobowale. Mr. Emmanuel Afeni.
Good afternoon,
Right.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Cynthia. Good afternoon, Dayo.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, Rivers. Lawmakers whose seats were voided move to impeach Fubara. Clark, that's elder statesman Edwin Kiagbodo Clark, asks IGP to caution anti-governor lawmaker. Says plot is invitation to chaos. That this issue of Rivers politics is not about to get to go away. Yes, because response to the governor's statement that this group of persons are no longer lawmakers. Yes. Now these persons are saying that they are, of course, being urged by the chairman of the caretaker chairman of APC in Rivers State that they should go ahead and start the impeachment process. I don't know where's all this going to lead.
It's going to lead to trouble. And that's why I like what the elder statesman is saying.
Yes.
He has called the Inspector General of Police.
Yes.
Because he anticipates a breakdown of law and order. I've never seen this sort of thing before. And I thought they would abide by the gentleman's agreement with the president. Maybe they will go back. Or
they're saying that it's not constitutional, has no constitutional basis.
That will be settled in the court. Even you don't need to be a lawyer to see the arithmetic of what is happening, that it is not sustainable. You get me? So maybe anyway the president is back. Maybe they need to have another round. Have another round.
The governing council to deal with Rivers State. Everything is ready.
Yes, that's why the president should be around, or should let us know his whereabouts.
Yeah, not after the fact.
Yes. So Dayo, I agree with you there, but the president intervention has no constitutional basis, right?
No, but this is a political
issue. But
you can't be flogging the law or flagging the law all the time. The way, see, I'm happy at the alarm that Papa Clark has raised. He has called the IGP. He's a veteran. He knows the implications.
Yes.
He doesn't want what happened in the Western House of Assembly in 1962 to happen. Because that led to so many things, you know.
Yes. So, but the courts have to also make their pronouncement on the status.
It's clear that the political solution
is not working. It's not working. So you just have to rely on the law, right?
Let the court decide.
Yes. If we just go to the New Telegraph newspaper, cyber security levy. NLC, organized private sector, others demand immediate reversal of CBN's directive. Say it's more burden on already suffering Nigerians. Nation's cashless policy confusing. Citizens overcharged. Organized private sector. Levy, another stilled task on private sector. Nasima, as Serap gives federal government 48 hours to withdraw directive or face legal action. This is another burden on this. I don't want to say suffering Nigerians, because people, not everybody, if I even use this table as a basis, are suffering.
Yes, you're definitely not suffering.
But of course,
persevering Nigerians.
Yes, persevering. Everybody feeling the pinch, one way or the other. Now, under this new CBN directive, if a customer, for instance, wants to transfer 10,000 naira, the customer will be charged 50 naira levy. That's aside other charges, including VAT. So it's like just, but for the government, they are seeing this as another window to make a good revenue. In fact,
I don't agree with it at all. But I will tell you why.
But it's the product of a law. They amended in February. The president quickly signed. Where were the rest of us? Civil society, NLC, when they were amending this law?
Look, people who are affected, see them. They are reacting. So let us listen to them. And from personal experience, I know that most times now, I use POS.
Yes.
Do you get me? But now the banks are even charging you for using POS in your transfers. And the banks, you see, the banks own Nigeria. They are making profit all the way. UBA also made 150 billion first quarter. I just read it somewhere there. You see, and the services are not there. People can't access their own money. And then they are still taxing people. It's nice you have people like NLC and
the organized private sector.
So on, fighting for all of us cannot be on the streets protesting.
Yes, well,
but it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. CBN is supposed to monitor the banks. Do you get me? There is a regulator.
But this is a CBN directive. But this amount of money is for cyber security, yes, to secure your money or your transactions.
But you see, and look, we are in the digital era. Yes. Somewhere there, say the digital economy contributes about 22% to overall our own GDP. You get me? Because youths are involved. They are good at it. Yeah. And we should find a way of bringing our youth
inclusion
in terms of education on this, instead of these taxes.
Well, the Guardian newspaper reported in the story, federal government shuns financial inclusion, imposes more taxes on citizens, depositors. And of course, you see a whole range of charges customers pay at one time or the other. Yes.
Well, it's so funny. It is so important for us to read the room, because some of these policies, timing is critical. Right now, you know that most people are struggling to make it to the end of every month, and now you're just adding one more thing. And the other thing is we can't get our cash from the banks, so everybody is living off of transfers. So what do we do now? So we shouldn't be surprised tomorrow when people start hoarding the little cash that they can get, and they start. Remember, we had a whole crisis because of cash stuck outside of the official channels. That's where we're headed back to, because nobody wants to pay this exorbitant amount just to transact. It's just unreasonable.
I think, see, on the funny side, you know, the aim is to have a cashless society.
That was
it doesn't mean that it should be cashless. It doesn't mean you should not have your money.
This will discourage people from maybe.
Doesn't mean you should not have your money.
Holding their cash
you must
at
have
home
access to your money
and do their transaction via cash instead of transferring and paying charges. Well, we just hope the government will listen.
Economy does not mean starvation economy.
Yes.
Or access to your own money.
Now, if we look at Business Day newspapers, right? Apart from depositors complaining, manufacturers are also complaining. Manufacturers bleed as losses rise to 389 billion naira in first quarter. Borrowing cost surges ninefold. Boa Foods, Unilever Nigeria, Dangote Cement, Buck, they are all complaining about the cost of funds and the strangulating business environment and the real productive sector of the economy suffering, and we need to produce in this economy for us to get out of the woods, right? But with the environment constricting, as it were, I don't know who you are inviting to come and invest in this country with all this. If the Dangotes, the Boas are complaining about the environment, the business environment, then, well, the government has to take another look at some of these policies, right? And Vanguard newspaper, oil block, federal government removes signature bonus to woo investors. Signature bonus highest in Nigeria, says Lukpobre, adds oil will remain relevant to Nigeria's economy. 667 firms eyeing 57 oil blocks on offer. Of course, at the OTC, holding in Houston, Texas, USA, the Minister of State for Petroleum, as well as the CEO of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, they're there marketing what we have, because 57 oil blocks will soon go on offer, and they're trying to sweeten it by removing the signature bonus. The signature bonus is the amount companies pay. It's not recoverable to access the oil blocks for commercial production. So the government removing this, I hope that will bring in big investors who will bring in their money into the oil sector so that we can produce more output for oil. Of course, like the minister said, oil is still key to this economy. It's our lifeline, our lifeblood as a nation right now, until perhaps we maximize other resources we have in our solid minerals, IT, and of course there are efforts in that direction. Now the Nation newspaper.
Well, before we leave that,
yes,
let the government address the same energy it's using on these blocks to make the refineries work.
Say it again.
To make the refinery, because all this amounts to waste at the end of the day.
No.
If the refineries are not working,
if
you cannot refine what you are producing,
this will not be waste. But the refineries,
I am saying need to address the same.
I agree with you.
Will go to waste if the refineries are not there.
No, we need to maximize
the same energy here.
Yeah, we need to maximize our oil resources.
Yes.
Not taking crude and you bring in refined from outside the country. No. So I think it's total package. You want to increase your oil output, you should be able to refine at home.
It's a value chain.
Yes, I agree with you, Dio. Now, the Nation newspaper, ECOWAS forced to battle terrorism in Nigeria, others. Well, the ECOWAS are planning to put together this ECOWAS force, and they'll be sourcing for $2.4 billion so that this ECOWAS force can help countries that are beleaguered with terrorism, especially in the Sahel. Of course, Nigeria will still have issues of terrorism and banditry. But I hope the money, when this force is set up, the resources needed will be contributed by other countries, not just leaving that to big brother Nigeria. But we must.
Everybody's coming here.
Yes, let's look at some other newspapers across Africa. Of course, why youth are Godville. Of course, the youth in South Africa, according to a survey, well, they don't believe things are working and they are looking forward to a change. I don't think that's good news for ANC.
Nope. Good news
no, but
all.
Daily News, Zimbabwe. Consumers want higher ZIG notes. Yes, as the ZIG gains popularity in Zimbabwe, they want higher notes. Well,
what of Zuma? What talking of Zuma?
Well,
that was the case
I think they have that in the news.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Not in the newspapers.
We need to go this moment, but we'd like to thank you for your review as always, Mr. Emmanuel Ifeni, Mr. Dayo Shoboale. Thank you both.